Hey everybody, I am using my tablet today instead of my phone, so it's got me looking crazy, so y'all forgive me. The camera way over here, but I keep looking where I'm used to looking, and it's crazy. But how's everybody? Happy Sunday. Y'all forgive me for not coming on and doing the Sunday morning church announcements. The time change here is different. The time zone is different. So I said what I'll do is I'll come on live and do some baking instead, because I was all discombobulated by the time I woke up. I didn't know what time it was on the East Coast versus the West Coast, so y'all forgive me. Next Sunday we will be back to our regularly scheduled program. I'll be back home by then. I'm doing well, Rebecca. How are you? You said good evening, Jennifer. See, and that's the thing. See, you saying good evening, and here for me it's the middle of the afternoon. Being over here, you know, on the West Coast, it's got me all messed up. Hey, Miss Marie, how you doing? I'm gonna get my brown sugar all measured out. All right. And so what we're doing today is I'm making some chocolate chip cookies. I'm making my regular recipe that I always make, except for I've had a lot of people ask me, can they use all butter instead of the butter and shortening mix that I normally do? So I have never tried it, but we're going to try it today. We're going to try it today. We're going to try it today. I am still on vacation. I'll leave tomorrow, so I'll be back home tomorrow. You said you made them and they were delicious. They are delicious, but a lot of people don't want to use the shortening, and I get it. I get it. So we're going to make the same recipe that I normally use, and I'm just going to use all butter. And who knows, this may be my new go-to. We're going to see. We're going to see. So, yeah, I am still on vacation. I appreciate y'all bearing with me, allowing me this time to rest and visit with my daughter, who I didn't get to see last year. I normally get to see her every year. Last year I didn't get to see her, so this trip was overdue. All right. So good evening. You glad you called me? I'm glad you called me too. If I don't have sour cream, can use yogurt instead. Alicia, what recipe are you referring to? I don't know what recipe you are referring to. What are you using sour cream for, hon? You gotta let me know. So I got 2 cups of brown sugar in our bowl. We're going to add 1.5 sticks of butter. So that will be 1 cup and a half cup, 1.5 cups of butter. Yeah, so not 1.5 sticks, 3 sticks of butter. I'm sorry, 3 sticks of butter, which equals 1.5 cups of butter. That's what I meant to say. Good evening, Shawanda. I'm glad you could make it too. So we're gonna add this in, this softened butter, to our 2 cups of brown sugar. So basically my same recipe that I always make, we're just not using the shortening today. Hey Mardell, how you doing? Good to see you. Get our butter in here. We're gonna mix. I don't have a stand mixer, so I'll be using this my daughter's hand mixer, but I've used this before and it's pretty powerful mixer, so I ain't concerned about it, because you can always do the flour, stir your flour in by hand, so we ain't worried about it. So y'all probably done had y'all Sunday dinner and everything by now. All right. I'm glad I didn't wait too late, because again, we got the time change to consider. Lori, I'm still on my trip. Alicia, I didn't use sour cream in that pound cake. I believe I used cream cheese. The pineapple, which pineapple pound cake you talking about? Which one? The pineapple pecan pound cake has cream cheese in it. So which one are you talking about? Which one are you talking about? Because I got 3 pineapple pound cakes. So anyway, Lori, I'm still on my trip. I'll fly out tomorrow afternoon, so I'll be back home by tomorrow evening. So I'm anxious to get back home. But it's been fun. It's been nice. It's been relaxing. No complaints. So we're gonna get this cream together. And I did forget to grab myself a spatula, so hang on. Hang on 1 second. I need a rubber spatula. Rubber spatula. Rubber spatula. Let me see. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm looking for myself a rubber spatula, because I did forget to get that. Let me see. Hang on. I know that there is one somewhere. I had it last night. Well, I'll just use this. That's okay. I can't find a rubber spatula, but I'm gonna use this. So we're gonna get this out of chuck of brown sugar I need to break up, and then we can go ahead and finish creaming this together as usual. So again, if you're just joining me, I am making my famous chocolate chip cookies, but instead of using my regular shortening that I normally use, I'm going to use all butter today, because I've had a lot of people ask me about that. So we are going to test this out together. And my butter is softened, so I got 3 sticks of butter in here with 2 cups of brown sugar. You said you've been making yours and they are absolutely okay. All right. You having trouble with the oatmeal raisin cookies? What trouble is that? And how many of you know, anytime you're making cookie dough with a hand mixer, you just gotta have some patience. It will come together. You just gotta have some patience. Maybe not as fast as a stand mixer, but you can use a hand mixer. It will come together. Miss Essie, how you doing? They don't seem to rise. Annalisa, that's weird. So they baking up flat for you, huh? That is weird. Only thing I can do is say, you know, check your check the date on your leavening, your baking powder and your baking soda. Make sure those are not out of date, and if those are fine, sometimes it's just that this is not being mixed thoroughly, or you may need to refrigerate your dough. It could be a number of things. So now at this point, now that we've creamed our butter and sugar, and that's well incorporated, we want to add our 2 eggs, our 4 tablespoons of milk, and our vanilla extract. That's what we're gonna add. So get that together here. So let me move this out the way so y'all can see what I'm doing. I got my 2 eggs here. Cracked them in a bowl. And sure enough, I got a shell. Let me get that shell out of here. Can y'all see? Maybe I should turn on some lights so y'all can see. Hold on a second. Let me see. Turn on some light. Hold on. There we go. Maybe that'll help. Hey, Shantae. Let's see here. Get that shell out of there. All right, so 2 eggs. To that, we're going to add a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Just like that. And then y'all know I add 4 tablespoons of milk, right? And y'all also know, if y'all follow me, y'all also know that sometimes I substitute the milk for coffee creamer. And so in today's case, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put, instead of just using, but you can use regular milk. I'm going to use some coffee creamer in here today for some extra flavor. Y'all know I do that sometimes, but you don't have to. You can just use plain regular milk. You could use almond milk. You could use evaporated milk. You could use whatever kind of milk that you have on hand. It will all work. I've tried it all. It all works. So today I'm going to use this brown sugar creamer. It's an oat milk creamer. So I'm using that today. Shake that up. And it's going to be 4 tablespoons. Okay. And then we're going to add this to our butter and sugar mixture over here. 3, and that's 4. Okay. And that's that. You also used creamer this time and you loved it. Okay. And you made 4 dozen yesterday. Okay. All right. Good to hear. Yeah, it gives it just a little bit of extra flavor without using up all of your extract. That's all. But like I said, you don't have to use it. It's not mandatory. Any milk will do. Honestly, I've tried it all. It's funny because I tried it all in this recipe, but had never tried making it with all butter. And that's something. It was just one of those situations where I had been doing it a certain way so long and it worked. I didn't feel a need to change it, you know. I didn't feel the need to change it. So let's go ahead and start to add this in. You know what I want to do? I'm going to put this towel underneath this bowl so it won't be flying all over the place. Like that. Yeah, that's a lot more stable. All right. gradually add this in. I'm going to add in the rest. Crank up my mixer a little bit. It's been a long time since I made cookies with a hand mixer. Long time. But that's how I started out, so I know it can be done. Didn't always have a stand mixer. Looking pretty good, y'all. And that's what we're looking like so far. See that? Could I use lard instead of shortening? Well, that's gonna be something that you got to test out yourself, Lori. I've never baked with lard. That's not something that's in my experience. So yeah, experiment, test it out. You're gonna have to figure that out. I mean, I would imagine it's the same as shortening. You know, I can imagine, but to have said I've actually tried it myself, y'all know me, I'm not one to tell you I haven't tried something, I haven't tried it. If I haven't tried it, I'm going to tell you I haven't tried it. You're going to have to experiment and play around with it on your own, because I have not. I'm in the business of sharing y'all the little bit that I know. And if it's something I don't know about, I'm not one to pretend like I'm an expert that I know everything, because I don't. I don't know everything, and I have not tried everything. So the only thing I can do is talk about what I have tried and what I know works. That's about all. I'm simple. I'm just making sure it's thoroughly incorporated before we move on to our dry ingredients. Because once we move on to the dry ingredients, that's it. And so it's going to be real interesting because I'm not home, so I don't have my cookie scoop that y'all know I'm always using my 2-ounce cookie scoop. I don't have that with me, so I'm going to be eyeballing it, just like most people, like we did back in the day before we had all these fancy gadgets. So this is all of our wet ingredients, so to speak, creamed together. And ain't nothing to do now but add our dry. So let me put this up. And more than likely, I'm going to do that by hand. Hey, Miss Melva, different subject. Has anyone had problems finding cocoa powder? And if you find it, the price is double. That's interesting. No, I haven't noticed that. But that's interesting now that you said something. All chocolate products have gone up 70%. Well, I know we just paid quite a bit of money for these chocolate chips that I got, but I'm assuming because it's the fancy kind. Like I got fancy chocolate chips this time. I don't even know what they would normally be priced. But so for our dry ingredients, you know, all we need is flour, and all-purpose flour, some baking soda, and some salt. Got the salt. So we're just gonna dump it all in the bowl, all together. 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Like I said, same recipe as usual. I'm just not using shortening. That's it. I had not noticed that. I'm glad. I'm gonna look now that y'all said something. I'm gonna look now about that chocolate. So 1, and that's 2. We're gonna do 3 cups of flour. 3 and 4. And 4 cups. Okay, that's it for that. To check and see if they have an ice cream scoop. I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about the ice cream scoop. If they do have an ice cream scoop, you know, that actually would be bigger than what I normally use. But thank you for the suggestion. I'm just gonna wing it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't really think they're gonna care. So 1½ teaspoons. I had to think a minute. 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. All right, that's 1½ Okay. And 2 teaspoons of salt. And yes, I did use salted butter. Y'all know I use salted butter for everything, but you don't have to. You can totally use unsalted if that's what you're more comfortable with. All right, so 2 teaspoons of salt. And this is a sea salt, so it ain't gonna be real salty anyway. Thank you for the stars. You said, I missed, I think Alicia said something and I missed it. I had to go back through at the end of the video and find what she said. Hello, Marquita. Hey, Francis, how y'all doing? So let's go in with our mixture real quick and get this stuff incorporated. Then we're gonna mix everything by hand. I just love how it really don't take no time to make a batch of homemade cookies. It really don't. It is the most uncomplicated thing you could ever make. You don't have to be in the kitchen all day or none of that to put together a batch of homemade cookies better than anything you could ever buy at the store. It's just such a blessing. And it don't take you all day. And now I need to scrape down my bowl. Good evening. You haven't seen that Walmart. Oh, y'all looking, y'all still talking about cocoa powder. I had not noticed. Y'all telling me something that I had not noticed. I mean, the cocoa powder that's in my cabinet, I think I've had for a few months, so I haven't had a need to go buy any. I had not paid it no mind. I'm gonna have to look. You use my chocolate chip cookies and you love it. How much butter did you use in this recipe? 1½ cups, which was 3 sticks of butter. That's what I use. Yeah, we all love the original recipe, so I am curious to see the difference, how this will be different, because the only substitution I'm making is the butter. Everything else about the recipe is exactly the same as it always is. Good evening. Who is it? Vera Nail? Good evening. Good evening. Is it Trina? Did I miss you? I'm sorry, Trina, if I missed you. Good evening. to y'all. It's afternoon to me. But don't worry, I'll be back on the East Coast tomorrow evening. I'll be back home tomorrow evening. I'll fly out tomorrow afternoon. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm working this little hand mixer, y'all. I'm working it. Y'all see me working this little hand mixer. But it's doing the job. It is doing the job. That's it. That's all. I think that's all. That's good enough. Anything else can be done by hand. So you made the pineapple strawberry pound cake last night. Oh, I know you enjoyed that, Sharon. I love that cake. It is so good. No, I'm not back, Reginald. I'm still out of town. But I'll be back tomorrow evening. I fly out tomorrow afternoon. Yep. But I wanted to make some cookies while I was still here. My daughter fiance, he loves my chocolate chip cookies, and I make them for him all the time and ship them to him. Okay, so since I'm here and I missed his birthday a few weeks ago, I'm just gonna make them while I'm here. Just make them while I'm here, and we're experimenting with my recipe using all butter and no shortening. So I got some Guitar. Can y'all see that? It's called Super Cookie Chips. It is semi-sweet. So we're gonna use this. It was a recipe on the back of this bag too. I probably could have used this, but they got a different little shape to them. I don't know what this shape is supposed to be, but it's different. Tastes like regular chocolate chip cookies. I mean chocolate chips, but the shape of them is different. Can y'all see that? I saw these. We went to a grocery store here called Sprouts, and they had these at Sprouts. So I grabbed them. Cause what they didn't have at Sprouts was Nestle Toll House. Not at all. So now I got these wafers, bittersweet. So that's semi-sweet, and we got some bittersweet wafers here. I'm not gonna use all of these. We're gonna use some of them to see how much we need. And I need to preheat my oven because we're gonna go on and bake these. I'm not gonna even refrigerate the dough. Let's see here. Bake. Okay, so I'm still doing 375. And this is a different shape. These is like little round, flat shapes. I'm gonna use some of these. I'm supposed to have some nuts too. Almost forgot. Hold on. Can't forget the pecans. Can't forget the pecans, child. Gotta have the pecans, right? I'm just gonna put them all in there. Why not? I love pecans. Throw them in there. Everything in the bowl. Now let's get us a mix. You said you looking forward to making it? Pineapple strawberry cake. I keep forgetting to buy freeze-dried strawberries. I had one follower of this page that she was gonna get. She asked me could she do fresh berries, and of course I told her, you know, I hadn't tested it with fresh berries, but for her to please go ahead and give it a shot if that's what she got, and experiment with it and get back to me, let me know how it goes, you know. And I think the only reason why I didn't try to use fresh berries is because at the time I made that cake, the berries at the grocery store still weren't looking good. And I like to do fresh berries during strawberry season, you know. And if it ain't strawberry season, you get to try to find an alternative, be it frozen berries or, in my case, freeze dried, because I wanted a really nice strawberry flavor, but it wasn't quite strawberry season yet, so that's the only reason why I didn't experiment with fresh berries with that cake. But by all means, if that's what y'all have, please try it. Let me know how it worked out for you. I'll always be interested in any different versions y'all come up with of any recipe that I post. It's all good. So this is what our dough is looking like so far. Can y'all see it? Or am I in the way? Y'all can't see it. I'm so sorry about this light, but of course y'all know I'm not at home. I don't have my ring light or nothing, and I'm on my tablet instead of my phone, so that makes a difference as well. But I think these are gonna be good. The dough looking good. I'm excited. Let's clean up our mess. And we're gonna get ready to bake. Sharon said, y'all make the cake. It's awesome. Good evening, Diamond. All right, all right, all right. Let me wash my hands. We are about ready here. And I think, like I said, I think I'm just gonna take a tablespoon and just tablespoon them out, you know, like we did back in the day before we had all these fancy gadgets. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. They may not be all uniform in size, but I don't think nobody gonna notice. You bought big bowls like this at Ollie's? How many did you get, Reginald? Oh, thank you, Rebecca, for telling me y'all can see very well. I appreciate you, girl. How many bowls you got, Reginald? So I'm gonna get my cookie sheets here and some parchment. And we're gonna go on and get this out of the way, because what I really need to be doing is I gotta finish doing my laundry so I can pack my bag tonight, get ready. So I'll be ready in the morning to get on up out of here. So I do got some laundry I gotta finish up. And get my stuff packed up. I'm gonna set this over here. Done with that. Oh, you got two of them? Okay. They're gonna come in handy around the holiday season. Do you have a cake without eggs other than chocolate? I do not. I don't. I do apologize. I don't. It's not something that I've ever experimented with, honestly. But that chocolate mayonnaise cake, see, that's just something that's just been around a long time anyway. And so I used to make that when my kids were still at home, just even if I just didn't have a lot of eggs and I needed to make them some type of a treat just real quick, you know, and I would just use that. So I've always just made that anyway without it being an egg crisis. Let's see here. I did have a great time. It's always great. I got to see, like I said, I got to see my daughter, who I hadn't seen in over a year. Seeing her, spending time with her and her fiance, and we went to that. She knows I have always been fascinated with the tiny home living. And so they had that tiny home convention here, so she took me to that. And I really enjoyed that, especially the people who were there, who were living in vans and campers and buses that they had converted. That was interesting to see. That was very interesting to see. And so, yep, I had a good time. We went to an art museum. We've done quite a few things. It's been a full few days. I have enjoyed, but I always enjoy myself when I come here. So, no surprise there. What page? What's page? My name is Mama Safana. My page is Mama Safana Buttercream Dreams. Is the recipe on the mayonnaise jar? What brand of mayonnaise though? What brand of mayonnaise that you use has got a recipe for a white cake on it? Because I have not seen it. I have not seen it. But yeah, tell the people what brand it is so they can go look it up since they're looking for it. Sam's is out of Hershey chocolate powder. Wow, y'all really been going? Huh? I had no idea none of that was going on with the chocolate, with the cocoa powder. I did not know. I don't know where I've been. I missed that. Y'all telling me something. I sure did not know. You use the same recipe and omitted the chocolate. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I personally, I haven't, really did a whole lot of research on egg substitutes. I really haven't. Mainly because y'all know I only bake for content, so I don't bake as much as y'all think I do. So unlike people who are baking for income, that would be, beneficial to them to look up. But I don't do that anymore. So it's not really, so if, it's just not something I've really been worried about. I hate to say it like that, but I don't know how else to say it. I guess what I'm really trying to say is at the end of the day, I feel like my God is going to supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. So I ain't really worried about the eggs. You did Hellman's mayonnaise, Michelle? People are stocking up. For what? For why? I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. So let me get a tablespoon here. Let me get a nice tablespoon here. Or maybe I should not use those. Look like these are tablespoons as well. Or a teaspoon. We're going to find something to use. And if they're smaller than usual, that's fine too. Yeah, that's fine too. So now we're going to make our cookies. So y'all know I normally refrigerate my dough. I'm not going to. We're just going to bake them. We're going to bake them and see how they turn out. I got a teaspoon here. I'm just going to do a teaspoonful. Y'all know I like to garnish my cookies too, so I am going to do that with the bit of wafers that I have left over. And we're just going to see how they turn out. I'm so excited because I've never done this before with all butter. I mean, normally if I want to make an all butter cookie, I generally just use the Nestle Toll House cookie recipe that I grew up using, But I have not done it with my recipe, which, as y'all know, contains brown sugar, no white sugar. So we're going to see how this goes. And I'm going to try my best to make these the same size as much as possible. But don't hold me to it. Hey, Nisi, how you doing? Hey, Sue from Australia. Swan's down at Food Depot. $3.69 a box, or $3.69 off a box. Which one? I got a restaurant depot not far from me when I go back home. You said you making another batch now, Niecy? Did you make sure my brother got some? Did my brother get some? You know he loves chocolate chip cookies. A box. Okay, Reginald, that's a good deal then. Because you know that swines down try to hit you over the head with their prices. I know where I live, it could run you about $5 a box. So that's a good deal. Reginald, you must be getting ready to open you up a business, because you always finding deals on Bacon Surprise. So he ate at least 4 of them. I know he did, niece. I know he did. So today what I'm doing is I'm doing a little bit, you said your uncle came and got a dozen. Look at you, girl. Go ahead. Well, I'm making my usual recipe, but instead of using the shortening, I'm just using all butter. I just wanted to see how that was going to turn out. So a little bit different than my usual version. You okay, Gigi? You need to go outside? I'm pet sitting, y'all. I'm pet sitting, so I gotta make sure the dog okay. So I have done all butter and no sugar, and they're good. Be careful though, they can turn out grainy. That's weird, because I when I do Nestle Toll House cookies, which is all butter, they never turn out grainy. Well, we're going to see. I'm making them here. We're about to bake some. We're going to find out. The dough looks beautiful. I don't have no doubts. Mimi, 3 sticks of butter. 3 sticks of butter. So 1.5, which equals 1.5 cups of butter. So it's actually 3 sticks of butter. Oh, you planning on setting up for Juneteenth? Oh, good for you. Good for you. So you going to do a pop-up event or just a sale, or what you doing? These cookies, as I roll them, getting bigger and bigger. Like they started out little. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to eyeball as good without my cookie scoop, but it is what it is. A sale, okay. Well, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. You doing a pound cake sale for Juneteenth? So, there we go. That's our first. Let me make sure everything is situated on the pan right. Got ample space. This is our first batch. Jordan and I are going to do a sale if the city. Good for y'all. Girl, look at my nieces. I know that's right. Y'all going to have a sale too? Y'all call me if y'all need me to help y'all with anything. See, I'm making these cookies getting bigger and bigger. Let me slow down here. I'm trying to keep them all the same size. I'm not doing that great of a job. I'm so used to doing my cookie scoop. So we're gonna get these two. I'm gonna get these two in the oven, and we're gonna see what they're looking like. Like I said, the dough looks good. Look like it should be looking. I do want to garnish these though. I did say that, right? So let me get them all scooped up and I'm gonna garnish them. Can you use a tart ring to spread cookies as they come out the oven? Yeah, you can do all that. You can bake the cookies in a ring. They got rings that you can actually bake them in if you want them a perfect shape. You can go on Amazon and buy those rings. You absolutely can. Get a 3 or 4 inch ring if you're making really big cookies. Depending on what you're looking for. Hey, Regina. You ain't been missing me, girl. I ain't been on here. I've been, I'm still out of town right now, so I haven't really been on here. I didn't come on this Sunday morning because of the time change, but me being on the West Coast, I just didn't know what time to come on. So I didn't come on this morning. I'm pop on here real quick to make these cookies. I'm doing my chocolate chip cookies that I normally do, but instead of using shortening, I'm using all butter, just to see how it's gonna turn out. So it's my same recipe that I always have posted several times, but this time I'm using all butter instead of the shortening, just to see how they are gonna turn out, because I've actually never tried it. And people ask me this all the time, and I just tell them, hey, I never tried it. Well, now I'm trying it, so I'll have an opinion about them. I can't get them the same size though. I'm missing my cookie scoop big time. I can't get them the same size to save my life, but here we are. And I did not refrigerate this dough like I normally do, so I'm curious to see how much they're gonna spread. Okay, we're gonna see. So you just a home baker, but you like uniform cookies, you use a cookie scoop and sometimes a scale. Yeah, I know, that's what I normally use, is a cookie scoop. I got a scale too. When I was selling cookies, I always used my scale. Now that I don't sell them no more, I just use my cookie scoop. But when I was selling, it was important that I use my scale, because I would need to know exactly how many I'm getting out of each batch, so I know how much I need to sell to get my money back. So I was very, very much consistent about that when I was actually selling cookies. But I don't do that. As y'all know, I don't do that anymore. So right now, all I do is just try to teach people the little that I do know, and help other people out that just want to become a better baker, or maybe they want to start selling, and maybe if it's something I can do to help along the way, that's what I do. So that's just my mission in life right now. So that is 2 dozen right there. We got ready to go. I'm sitting here contemplating if I'm gonna garnish them. Didn't you did? Oh yeah, you okay? Yeah, I'm you not been on much. You had to have emergency surgery. Oh my Lord, on Tuesday, and you home now recoup. Oh my Lord, Regina, I didn't know. Well, I'm glad you home. I will be back home. I fly out tomorrow, going back home. You know what? And it's funny too, because Regina, I should have known something. If I had not been out of town my own self, I probably would have noticed something was going on with you, because you normally bake a cake every week and be posting it. And I hadn't paid no attention. Please go over and let me get a pen. Yeah, I'll do it. We're gonna do it. Don't worry about it. We'll do it. It's the same recipe that's on my YouTube channel, but I just substituted the butter. But I'll be happy to go over it for y'all. Y'all know, anybody who joined me on the live, I will definitely go over a recipe for y'all. Let y'all write it down. I always do that. So yeah, we'll do that per usual. Let me get these in the oven, and we'll do that. So I'm just putting a little chocolate wafer on the top, just cause. Yeah, we'll go over it. So while I'm doing this, everybody who want to write it down, get your pens and your paper. Once we get these in the oven, we will go over the recipe. Out of town and still baking. Yeah. Like I was telling them, my daughter's fiance loved my cookies, and I always bake them for him every year. I missed his birthday this year. They were out of the country. And so now, since I'm here visiting them, I figured I'd just go and make them for them while I'm here. All right, so here we go. They're going in the oven now. Oh, let me adjust my shelves. Let's see what she do. You okay, Mango? You eating your food? This is a gas stove, y'all. Y'all know I got electric at home, so I'm gonna have to keep a watch on these. Let's see. Oh no, maybe electric. I think the bottom is electric and the top is gas. You lost an older brother. This makes 2 weeks. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences to you and your family, Reginald. Okay, so y'all, let me, I gotta go grab something real quick. I told y'all, I'm so used to looking, and the camera is over here. Jesus, I'm not used to doing stuff with my tablet. Your niece makes a hat like I just saw it on your granddaughter's head last night. Loved it. Yeah, there's a friend of mine that makes these. Thank you. Let me go grab something real quick. Y'all need to grab my phone, and then we're going to go over the recipe, okay? So y'all hang on. And then, because I want to time these. So hold on. Because whenever I do 2 trays, y'all know I put my timer on, and then I want to rotate my sheet pan. So let me put my timer on. Let's see. So I can rotate the pans for even browning. And start. Okay. All right, how y'all doing? All right. Did y'all see my biscuit recipe that I posted today? Them were some good biscuits. They were brown sugar, cinnamon, butter. Brown sugar, cinnamon, butter biscuits. So good. Y'all gotta try that recipe. You okay, Gigi? Okay, let me know if you need something. I'm talking to the dog, y'all. To make sure she all right. Okay, so y'all ready for the recipe? So what we did was we made, if you just joined me, we made my chocolate chip cookie recipe that I always make, except for this time, instead of me using the shortening that I normally use, I use all butter. Other than that, everything about this recipe is the exact same as it always is. A couple people said they wanted me to go over the ingredients, so I told everybody to get their pen and paper ready, and I will go over the ingredients. while we wait on the cookies to bake. While we wait on the cookies to bake. Happy Sunday to you too. So you have a cast iron round biscuit pan coming. You saw the video, Malva. They were good. The recipe is 3 sticks of butter, which is 1.5 cups. That's what I use. And 2 cups of light brown, firmly packed light brown sugar, okay? Y'all got that? And we creaming those together to well incorporated. Then you're gonna add 2 eggs, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 4 tablespoons of milk. Now today, I use coffee creamer. Y'all, if y'all follow my cookie recipes, y'all know sometimes I add coffee creamer instead of milk. Today was one of those days, but you don't have to use coffee creamer. You can use regular milk. The reason why I use coffee creamer sometimes is just to give it a little bit more flavor without using up all of my extracts, because you know you got vanilla flavor or caramel flavor or whatever kind of flavor right in the coffee creamer. So instead of, you know, it just, y'all know pure vanilla extract is high. So just to save on that, sometimes I use a little coffee creamer. Hey Janice, hey baby. So today I used a oat milk coffee creamer that I had that's brown sugar flavor. Let me show you. In case you missed it, I use this brown sugar oat milk coffee creamer today. But like I said, you don't have to use this. You can use any kind of milk you have on hand. It could be whole milk, 2% milk. Don't matter what kind of milk, just you need 4 tablespoons in the recipe. Any kind of milk will do, but this is what I use today, okay? I've even used evaporated milk in my cookie recipe. It all works. So now, let's go back to the beginning. I use 3 sticks of butter. Salted butter is what I use, but if you're not comfortable with using salted butter, by all means use unsalted. But I just personally use salted butter. I'm going back over it, Marion. I use salted butter for everything. That's just me. But you don't have to, because it is salt in the recipe. So 3 sticks of butter, softened butter, 2 cups of firmly packed brown sugar, 2 eggs, okay? A tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 4 tablespoons of your choice of milk. And you want to get all that stuff creamed together until it's well incorporated. Oh, that's our timer. Let's rotate our pans. They smell good, y'all. Smell so good. Rotate, rotate, rotate. So now we go on to the dry ingredients. Have you moved because your stove and kitchen is huge and nice? Not saying your other stove wasn't. It's just not as big as that one. I have not moved. I'm out of town. I'm visiting my daughter. So no, I don't have a big nice house like this. I'm gonna be back home to my very small kitchen. So no, I have not moved. I'm just not at home. I do have a brownie recipe, Stephanie, and it is posted on my YouTube channel, The Chef and the Baker RVA. Wonder, can I put my link in the comments? Let me see. Oh, I can't. I could. Yeah, I can. I could do it with my phone. Hang on. So let me know when y'all ready for me to go over these dry ingredients with y'all for the rest of the recipe. Get the rest of the recipe. All we need now is our dry ingredients, which is 4 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, also 1.5 teaspoons of 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm trying to add my YouTube link for you guys in this comments by using my phone, so y'all bear with me. All right, so now once you get all that combined, hold on. Once you get all that combined, then you're just gonna add your chocolate chips, your nuts, whatever you want. Lane, I have put the link for my YouTube right here in the comment section. It is the Chef and the Baker RVA. All right. All right. That is the recipe. I used 1 bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I also added some of these bittersweet chocolate wafers to it, and then I added 1 bag of chopped pecans. And we about to see how they come out. They are in the oven, and we just got a couple more minutes left on them, and we're gonna see what we're working with here. No regular sugar. I only use brown sugar. Yep. But feel free to substitute. You can absolutely do half and half easily. Good question, Reginald. So my oven was preheated at 375 degrees. I am currently baking these for 12 minutes, give or take. I have not baked cookies in this oven, so I'm going to be watching them to see if I need to give them another minute or so. We'll see. Okay. All right. Any other questions, you guys? You use buttermilk because that's all you have. Hey, I have done it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. When I tell you, Camilla, any kind of milk will work, I have used that. I sure have. I've used half and half. I've used evaporated milk out the can. It all works the same. After the chocolate chips, what else? I did pecans, Marion. Yes, I can repeat the dry ingredients, but let me get ready to check these cookies. Let me check. Hang on, because I know this timer about to go off, so I don't want to get interrupted. So let me check the cookies, see if I need to pull them out the oven. I will be more than happy to go over the dry ingredients again. So y'all just give them this to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. All right, let me check them. I'm just gonna give them another half a minute, and I'm gonna take them out. They just about there though. They are. Thank you so much. What is your name? Yolander? Yolander? Is that it? Yeah, so Regina, just bear with me for 1 second. Let me pull these out the oven, and I will be more than happy to go over them ingredients with y'all. Just bear with me for a minute. Hang on. And I'm going to show y'all what we're working with. Now, have y'all ever seen the trick where you slam the cookie tray down on the counter to flatten them out? Y'all ever done that? Just drop it like that. That's what we're working with so far. So even without me refrigerating them, they look pretty good. What y'all think? Pretty good, huh? Okay, dry ingredients, right? That was our next order of business. So let me see here how I turn this off. I want to turn this off. Okay, turn that off. And what I'm going to do is I am going to leave this cookie dough for my daughter so that whenever they want cookies, they can freeze this and they can make more whenever they want it. So I won't, it's just the two of them here, so I won't bake them all because I don't want to, you know, overload them too much. So I will leave this dough for them. So the dry ingredients for this recipe was, if you missed it the first time, the dry ingredients was 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of salt. That's it. Did you post your biscuit recipe that you did this morning? Yes, I did. The video is up. And if you want, the video is up. And if you want the written recipe, if you go over to my YouTube channel and look in the description box, you have to click on the description box that's under the video, and all the written recipe is there. Okay, so the video is up here and over on my YouTube channel. It's also up on my TikTok. All right. I thank y'all for joining me. And so generally, when I make my recipe, normally I'm able to get at least 3 dozen, sometimes a little more, out of this recipe. Like I said, I'm not going to bake them all. I'm going to leave this dough for them. So after I'm going back home, they are able to bake cookies when they want to. Because it's just the 2 of them here, so I know they don't want to bake all these right now. Thank you, Regina. Thank you. Any other questions, you guys? We're going to try a cookie too. Don't think we're not going to try one. Gotta try one, right? Gotta try one. All right. This will go in the freezer. Can I see them? Yeah, I'm about to break. I'm making room now. Hang on. We're about to bring the tray over here. Yep, I'm making room now. Y'all see them? Repeat the dry ingredients? Absolutely. Absolutely. The dry ingredients. Let me know when you're ready, Janice, and I will repeat it. You posted it where? In the comments? I didn't have a cookie scoop. So that's the thing I was saying, Yolander. because I'm not at home, I don't have a cookie scoop, so I had to just eyeball this with like a tablespoon. You know, I didn't have a cookie scoop to use this time, so they not perfect. They, you know, I'm just eyeballing it here. Someone did post it. Okay. But here we are. And you know what? So, and it's funny that you said it too, because I didn't refrigerate the dough. These came out amazing without me even refrigerating the dough. Like, we literally just mixed the dough, and from bowl to oven, straight to oven, from bowl straight to oven. That's what we did today, and they still came out amazing. And I'm a stickler for refrigerating my dough, but I don't have time to do that today because I got to get ready to pack to go back home. Let's see if they, let's see here. Let's see if we can break one open. Can we see that? That's how thick they came out. Whoop. Normally I refrigerate the dough at least an hour, but preferably overnight. Thank you for the stars, Marion. I keep forgetting where my camera at. So, y'all are blessed because one of our awesome followers have already posted the recipe in the comments. So all y'all gotta do is go to the comments, and there you go. I did not use regular chocolate chips. I used these and something else. I already threw the bag away. You're gonna have to go to the beginning of the video to see what else I used. So, I do like the butter. I can't say that it's better, but I definitely like it. It's just as delicious. Should I say that? So the true test is to see how long they stay soft, because I have explained before, the whole purpose of the shortening in the first place was that back when I was selling and shipping cookies, adding the shortening to the recipe is what kept them soft during the shipping process. So that was the purpose of that in the first place. You know, I had tested that recipe out for the purpose of shipping back when I was doing that, and the shortening in the cookies kept the cookies soft and fresh during the shipping process. That was the whole purpose of that recipe to begin with. So these are just as delicious. It's still the same recipe with just that one change. Can y'all see it? I love the fact that they still, and that's something how they still baked up without refrigerating the dough. Nice and thick. And I really attribute that, I honestly attribute that to having a good quality butter. If I had to attribute it to anything, it would definitely be to having a good quality butter. Enough fat in the recipe is what does this. Because if you got a butter that's low quality, what happens is it has a lot of water in it. So what does the water do when it gets in the oven? Evaporate, right? Carolyn says, If you wanted to add both, what would the breakdown be? So my original recipe has the shortening in it. If you want that recipe, you can go over to my YouTube channel, which is the Chef and the Baker RVA. That is the original recipe with the shortening in it. This one is the one with the all butter. Challenge butter. I use challenge butter. Anybody who's followed me for a while know that. This is it. This is my favorite. But Land O'Lakes is good too. So if I can't find this, more than likely, I'm going to get Land O'Lakes. Yep. No worries, no worries. That's why I figured so, baby. That's why I wanted to show it to you. For all the new people, this is what it is. Because sometimes me just saying it ain't enough. Sometimes it's just best to show people what you're talking about. I said, now you want a chocolate chip? You gave it up for Lent. I do apologize. I don't want to break nobody Lent. But like I said, I was here. And I made these for my daughter's fiance for his birthday. It's his favorite. Let's look at the other pan. You can really see how, even without us refrigerating the dough, how nice and big they baked up. You said you've been using Kroger? Okay. So last week was your first week using it. Yeah, it's been my favorite for a couple years. I mean, if you're going to take the time to bake, might as well use some quality ingredients to produce a quality product. That's always been my train of thought. Because when you produce, especially if you're selling stuff, if you produce a quality product, that's what's going to get people coming back again and again and again. Wouldn't y'all agree? And so, if you are selling cookies or cakes or whatever, that butter is not cheap. So you just have to be willing to incorporate the cost of that in your prices. Ginger, I responded to your message. I saw your message, I responded. I guess maybe I didn't understand what else you were still asking me. And I do apologize. If I didn't thoroughly answer your question. So any more questions about these cookies, y'all? Let me know in the comments if y'all plan on trying this. It's really good. It's really good. Well, Ginger, you can incorporate the pecans however you want to. In that particular cake that you was commenting under, I had added chopped pecans in the batter, and I had added chopped pecans on top of the batter, and that method works with any cake that you want to add pecans to. If you think it's a good idea, and how to incorporate to my old, it's just however you want to. However you want to. So yeah, you can add chopped pecans to any cake batter recipe. So my old-fashioned butter cake, I know exactly which one you're talking about. It just depends on how much pecans you want. If you want to fold some pecans in the batter, that's great. If you want to sprinkle some on top so that they bake on top like I did, that's what I did, and then just put your glaze over the top of that. You can do that, or you could do both. It'll all work. Yeah, you can do it to that one. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. That okay, so since you asked, Ginger, if you are unsure, because that batter may not be as heavy as the sweet potato pecan cake, if you feel like you might need to dust the pecans a little bit with a little tablespoon of flour, go ahead. This is gonna be your experiment though. You keep that in mind, because you asking me for my opinion for something that I have not tried. I have not put pecans in that particular recipe, but if you want to, baby, go ahead. This is gonna be your experiment. And if it was me doing it, I probably would just sprinkle the pecans with just maybe a tablespoon of flour. Go ahead and fold it into the dough and sprinkle some on the top. And then, like you said, when it come out the oven, just drizzle the buttermilk glaze on top, just like the other cake. All right. But as far as these cookies is concerned, any other questions about these? Okay. Thank y'all for joining me. Let's see. Let's get the other one out here. They cooling off. You see, they didn't cool because I can pick up the pan, but they still look so good. So Maria, when it comes to using cornstarch in your recipe, I have heard of people doing that. So my original recipe for these cookies, like I told y'all before, has shortening in it. That alone used to keep my cookies soft for weeks and fresh for weeks, with me just using that one with that recipe with the shortening in it. So I didn't need to add cornstarch. So it was never a need for me to try that. I've heard of it. I've heard of people doing it. But my original recipe for my chocolate chip cookies on my YouTube channel, The Chef and the Baker RVA, those will stay fresh for days. Let me tell you, you can ship those. I have shipped them cookies more times than I can count, and to every end of this United States. I kid you not. And every time somebody get them, they taste like you just made them. They're so fresh because of that recipe. That was the whole reason why I developed that recipe, for that reason, because this was back when I was shipping and selling cookies. So that's the one I would use. To me, you no need to add cornstarch if you just use that recipe. And I know of that trick too, of putting a slice of bread in the container. I learned that a long time ago. But do you know, with my original recipe, it ain't even a need for it. You could leave them cookies sitting out on a plate, uncovered. And 4 or 5 days later, that cookie's still soft. I kid you not, try it. I tested this over the years. That recipe, I have been using that recipe for over 20 years. It has been tested through and through and through. If that's what you're looking for, a cookie recipe that you know is going to stay soft and fresh, that's the one to go with. That was the whole reason for me developing that recipe. This one right here, with just using all butter, is for flavor. It's my first time trying it, so I'm not going to really speak on that too much. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate you. Yeah, Reginald, I heard about that. Dwayne, God rest his soul. I heard about him passing. You overcooked some this weekend? Gotta set that timer. Gotta set that timer. They should never bake more than 12 minutes at the most. 14 if you're doing really large cookies, but that's it. Let me get a spatula here. I wonder, can I combine them all on one tray. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see. I bet you I can combine them all on one tray so we get a better. I can take a picture. Only unfortunate part about this is, like I said, I don't have my cookie scoop, so I'm used to all of mine being uniform in size, and these are not, but that's okay. They're gonna taste just as good. Just as good, even though they're not all the same size. It's okay. It will be all right. You use the recipe. Oh, thank you, Susie. Yes, they will. But that was the purpose of the shortening in that recipe, because when I was, because like my daughter, she been here on the West Coast for some years now, like over a decade, really. And so I had started shipping her cookies, I think during COVID. Yeah, it was 2020 that I started shipping her. And she was the first one to tell me how fresh they really were when they got to her. Like, she was amazed herself, because it was like one time we had a situation where the mail was so funny during that time. I had paid for like 3 days shipping, but somehow or another she didn't get them till like a week later. And I told her, I said, well, baby, just throw them cookies away. You know, they probably ain't no good. And I'll just make you some more. Now, I do individually wrap them, so that helps as well. And she tried one anyway, and she told me, she said, Mama, these cookies, ain't nothing wrong with these cookies. She said, they taste so good and so fresh. And so then when she began to tell me that, we started testing it even more and more and more. Because now my curiosity is piqued. So yeah, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. So I wanted to get them all on the tray, on one tray together, so I could get a better picture when I get ready to take a picture of them and post. You getting ready to make a cake, Ginger? Oh, you lived there in Oakland with them. Yeah, God, oh man, God rest his soul. He was young too. When you use shortening, what's the measurement? So again, like I said, if you want that recipe, it's over there on my YouTube channel, The Chef and the Baker RBA. The full recipe is over there. You can go grab it over there. I also put the link here in the comments for you, and you can grab that recipe from my YouTube channel. Yeah, absolutely, Angela. Absolutely, absolutely. Y'all can tell I'm doing bad with this doggone tablet here, because I can't get my face together and put it in the right spot to save my life. I don't know who I'm talking to. Now, have you mastered the pistachio stuffed cookies? No, I haven't even tried that. I bought that from a bakery. I posted it the other day. That was a bakery that we visited, that we went and had tea at. We went and had afternoon tea at a French bakery, and they had made those cookies. I didn't make that. They had made those, and we just tried it out. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and get off this live, because I want to tend to, I'm still pet sitting, so I want to tend to them, make sure they got everything they need, and clean up and go do my laundry so I can pack up and fly home tomorrow. But thank y'all for joining me. Remember, there's somebody already put the recipe for these in this comment section of this live video, so you just got to scroll through and find it. And if you have any other questions, feel free to inbox me.